still farming very well. It's your first Echo Saber hit, which is a bit annoying, but Aghanims versus Puck, you can rip yourself out of the coil, which is super nice for yourself. So cool. Okay, he's getting his item times at a pretty decent pace, but I think Liquid wants to be at a much bigger gold lead at this point in the game when they're playing versus an anti-mage draft.
Sure, yeah, you're 17 minutes in. It's pretty even with the way, as we said on that bottom lane, that they did have the setup where BO3 was having a better time than Matu at this point. That's just all been lost. Yeah, Matu's in it pretty much where he would hope to be at this stage.
Absolutely, and they also have, I mean, they're matched in towers, right? It's only 2 towers have been taken out by both sides, so both teams have a little bit of a tough way to access the enemy ancient/triangle area. But yeah, Mika, that's the Aghanims pretty much done now after this next camp.
I mean, it's got to be go time, right? You get the Ags, or are you still waiting for another item on the Sven?
I think you have to make some type of move here. Maybe they're waiting for the Lone Druid's item to finish up too. I'm not sure how close Koifa is to finishing up that. He's still quite a ways away. Okay. Probably can't wait for that timing just yet. I think they probably want to start getting the move on. But even now, like, Aghanim Sven isn't something that's just going to save you, because we mentioned so much magic damage and lots of control on Secret. He can still just get eviscerated and just killed by all this damage that comes out.
Yeah, they've got the full Greaves on Zai. Matu's finished his Manta.
Yeah, Veil Puck to amplify everything, that all the magic they have. And they have Anisha Viper. Viper, one of the best heroes at just shutting down a hero like Sven, who just, you get Viper striked, your fighting is pretty much over if your Stormhammer isn't up.
Dire's bottom tower is under
So it looks like they're just going to chill back and farm for the time being. I think they don't want to rush anything just yet because of that lack of BKB. But yeah, Matu, top of net worth now. It's finally happened.
Oh, C-top. This is the move that we've been looking for Liquid to make. They want to get aggressive, but you can see Secret. They're very prepared for this. The Bear's 4 in.
Bear's getting killed pretty quickly here.
The Bear.
The magic damage.
We'll be able to keep it alive, only just.
Matumba, during all this though, like, Liquid, they're trying to get a tower. They're not getting it. Matu's getting way more farm. He takes the enemy Ancients during this too. Claims a decent lead now over the Sven. I mean, and now Secret smoking. Now they're looking for the fight themselves.
Yeah, Liquid's got to be careful. I mean, sure, Liquid's on the high ground. They do still stick together as a unit. Puppey. Smoke's going to be just fouled on him, but he's already jumping away with the orb. BO3 is going to try and chase. Goes with the Stampede. Puppey turns with the Dream Coil. In fact, Dream Coil stun will catch him. The Fear into the root, though, will set up for Puppey to fall.
Can they think about a Roche for this here? I think they maybe have to try to force it. Yeah, they're actually going to try to go in there. I think the Coil goes down. Coil is one of those big abilities.
I
think this is pretty big.
Yeah, with the Bear, with the God Strength, they're taking it down fast. Secret are starting to head over, but they don't have the Puck.
Zai's looking for a position where he can get good Mortimer kisses where Wolka can't.
He's going to start doing it. He's going to start throwing into the pit, but Liquid, they're already out. They're looking for the fight outside of it all. They turn over towards Yapso. Yapso goes down. The Supernova starts to push Secret back, but Boxy, he's down on top of Nisha. There'll be a buyback from Yapso, wanting to get straight back in on the action. A buyback as well from Insania, but Secret, they cannot protect Nisha. Nisha's been isolated. Liquid making the smart move there to not only go for Roche, but not fully commit. Step out of it, take this fight whilst they know they have the numbers advantage, and they know that Zai, for instance, is going to be trying to set up to throw down the ultimate into the pit.
And Zai from a distance too, so he can't actually focus fire and kill the egg. So Taiga knows he can be safe for a moment there. Coil up in 2 seconds.
Oh, they're going to go for the cookie play. It's a little early though. Roshan still at the Dream Coil now. Can they get it? Yapso's going to roll in. Radiant They do get the kill on Roche, but Mickey still grabs the Aegis, jumps out with the stun over towards Puppey and Zai. They take down Puppey now. Zai, he's in trouble. He's got one more cookie. Up he goes again, but Mickey and Sadie and Boxy, they'll continue to run him down. Stun should be back up in a second from Mickey as he comes flying forward, takes down the snap fire. And as you say, Matu, he's in a whole other game, and it's working. He's just taking range tracks.
Okay, I mean, they may have gotten an Aegis, but like you said, Secret got the last hit, so look at that gold they got from it, and the experience too. All right.
Matu just minding his own business, and playing it perfectly. I mean, you've always got to be very scared of the Matu AM.
Oof. I mean, now they have to make a lot happen with this Aegis. That's pretty scary. You just lost a decent amount of map control bottom where now it's not a melee that died, but it's still going to get pushed in constantly now on the bottom side of the map. So Matu is going to have an avenue to play around always, and I feel like they're going to have to put a deep ward down bottom on Liquid just to be able to watch when this anti-mage is setting up to look for that split push.
Matu's just been, he just always finds the space.
Yeah.
You know, anti-mage as a hero conceptually, if he gets this good start, gets a good timing on the Battle Fury and the Manta, he's going to be a nuisance to deal with. You have to pull a lot of resources into responding to the way that he's pushing the lanes out, and when it's Matu on it as well, that difficulty is just pushed up to an entirely different level.
He's gonna have the butterfly pretty much finished now at this point. Koikfa's just, his bears are just dying, and look at Koikfa's net worth in this game. He's not really a factor at all as this lone druid.
Matu's ready to get a little involved himself now. He's got a DD rune, jumps over, looks towards the bed.
It just resummoned, and now he's caught too.
Oh, and Koikfa's going to be dead as well by the looks of it.
They're going for the egg as well.
They're going to be able to find it. Oh, they've got Boxy! He's in with a stun on Boxy! Oh, he protects the egg perfectly! Woo. Oh, excellent from Boxy. He will be able to turn that around. That gets the big one. That's Matumba Man dead and gone. As they clean up Zai as well. Boxy, I mean, it was one hit away. One hit away, and Boxy comes in big time.
That was... Koikfa survives too because of that, because Matu was like, he's about to go for him.
So yeah, chat for the bear.
Yep, bear's down, but Matu, he saw it. Him and Yapsor both blinked past forward to go for that egg. Koikfa lives because of it. Boxy super clutch. That's what they needed. Oh, and now Puppey.
He may just feed as well. He's going to try and hide in the trees. Boxy. He's got blinking time. Ooh, it's all right. He had a great play earlier. But it was a good attempt. Very close. Nearly finds him, but Puppey just outside of the range of the Who Stop. He's out with the TP.
Oh my god, that's it. I felt like if that egg dies, that's game, right?
No, they needed that. They needed it. That's Boxy holding on there. Yeah. He says, come on, guys, we can hold on to this one. Keep it going, and he does.
That was
the expert. Yeah.
Would have been a total disaster for them, because it would have been a full item finish.
And it was Matu turning up. He turns up and he gets a great fight on top of the free game that he's had already. That would be, that's a rough one to play into, but they keep it even, Liquid.
They get the clutch. They're still in a weird position where Koikfa's game is just abysmal, because he just keeps getting killed. He keeps getting focused on, and this, I mean, Viper just makes his bear seem pretty useless overall. But they at least have Mickey farming well, and they have ways to at least protect the egg with Boxy. But yeah, it's a lot of weight on Mickey's shoulders, I still do feel in this game, as this anti-mage is still real big problems for them, especially with this itemization.
Sure, and as you know, the panel sort of talked about at the start, the other counters or heroes that are good against the M. At this stage, like, you look at the Lone Druid, you're just not scared at all because of the fact he's just not got the farm at the moment, Koikfa.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't even have MKB finished, and there's already the butterfly. This is like 2+ full items from the AM on top of a Lone Druid, and Lone Druid is pretty fragile. Like, the next item that Matumba Man gets, when he gets Basher/Abyssal, this Bears game is irrelevant. It's going to be so hard for him to play. So yeah, eyes on Mickey and eyes on just the team fight in general if they're able to cover that egg for Liquid. Still very high level. 21 on Mickey is no joke.
Oh yeah.
And he is going to be able to itemize to be able to counter that butterfly as well, queuing up that MKB. And game calms down a little bit. 30 seconds until Aegis does get reclaimed.
See if anything's to be done with it. They will start grouping up mid again, Liquid.
The lanes are in a good spot right now. They even nuke out the mid lane. They do have a smoke at the ready if they would like to, but there is a little bit of vision of them for a second. Gotta check the runes, 26-minute rune. Just gonna be a regen, nothing too fortunate. And Aegis 5 seconds, it will be gone. Trying to catch something very quickly before it disappears, but unable to.
Yes. Secret just avoiding those last few seconds.
Yep, and it just continues split push. Matama Man, they see one hero mid with that mid ward, two heroes mid with that mid ward. He just immediately goes to bottom.
Oh, freebie in the mid lane. Puppy will be found. They, as you say, they've definitely got to check the Matu situation now because he is outside the base. He's now onto the melee racks. So they've got to send some heroes back, and they will do so. Boxy and Insania come back to
they have to get
scare him off, but
they have to get out of mid.
Yeah, here's the aggression for Secret. As soon as they force the split and the response from Liquid to get back, they make a move onto Koifa. The Mana Void just for styling on him. Doesn't do anything. He still dies though. Koifa's out. TP out just in time before Yapso's able to grab him. Mickey's still on the run, but Yapso won't find him. But that's this sort of moves that are is gonna tear apart Liquid. I mean, what do you do there if you're backing out? You've just got to do it
more coordinated
with more of you, or like how do you stop Secret from pulling you apart and going in when you're split up like that?
If someone's going to TP and show themselves, the other heroes have to already be way further away. That's the key thing. Or you all just have to TP to that situation. You cannot show one or two heroes, especially they had a ward too, so they saw Koifa the entire time when he's backing away. And another death for Koifa. He's really struggling on this lone druid this game. They have to be super wary of that split push because this is going to be the name of the game now for Secret for the majority of the times. When Liquid has a good pushing momentum, Matu's going to go for the split push, force a reaction, and then they're going to try to catch the stragglers. And they have great ways to catch stragglers with a hero like Puck with a blink. So they have to just be very careful of that.
Yeah, the Puck does definitely sort of ruin that whole idea of getting out with the Stampede. When they are split up and trying to retreat like that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Timing-wise, Mickey I believe just about 1,000 away from having his MKB complete the rest of the components on that courier as it hovers around the shop, waiting for the Demon Edge to be picked up.
I really like that he's keeping the clumsy net too. I think this is one of the best items on carries a lot of the time. It's just that further lockdown, especially when you're playing versus a mobile core. It could just get him solo kills, right? If he catches Puck with the stun, he can just net him afterwards and be able to get some type of kills. So I personally just think that item is one of the better ones in the game at the moment. Even just not even counting the mana regen, just the fact that you can just
and that's the stats are great on it as well. You can sort of take away the stats and the item would probably still be pretty powerful.
Yep.
Very, very good stats and regen for sure on top of the active.
Matsu's going to go for a little bit of a safer item choice here. He's going for his BKB so that he doesn't have to worry about a situation like last time. Because now if he does have BKB, he can just BKB and always focus the egg and have no concern about getting chain stunned or feared away or anything like that. So going for the safer route rather than going for a basher. Same thing for Nisha. He's also going for his own BKB just so they don't have to worry about the control. Very close game though, 9-16, only 1k, less than 1k gold lead. Roche does get scouted. Zai has his courier, I believe, right inside of the pit there.
Would you still say pressure on Liquid though to make something happen? Otherwise those sort of split and pull movements from Matu are only going to get worse to deal with as the game goes on?
It definitely does feel like it just because of how far behind Koifa is. Like his hero is just... It really does feel like it might just be a non-factor in a lot of these situations. Boxy, they get the silence on him.
And he's going to try and step up here. He's got the pipe. Pretty tanky as well as the halberd. Charge across from Mickey that comes flying in onto Yapzor.
Nice.
Keeps Mickey safe. They take out the Earth Spirit. Can they go for anything else here? Mickey did pop the ultimate for this one. Looks like the rest of Secret, they're hiding in the trees. Mickey is going to be in range though. Comes flying in the sun onto Zai. They are going to be able to find a second. Zai, I say that, he's actually living with that cookie. The plus 200 health as well gets him out.
And another one.
Doesn't matter. Mickey still chases down. Matu blinks in for this one. Pots the man to gets out of there. Zai's actually going to buy back. Mickey's getting out of mana. He's getting kind of, the kisses are coming in, but they've got the Stampede pop. They're on the retreat. Yapso's trying to get in with a rolling forward, and Mickey's still incredible. The BKB spot. Mickey, he turns. He kills off Yapso. That's a dive back on the Earth Spirit. Mickey trying to lip a Matu. Blinks in with a BKB. Takes up the Sven. Mickey is gone for 90. And Matu's ready to chase down for more here. Blinking in. Looking towards the backlines. The rest of the team dealing with Boxy. Boxy gets the TP off in time, though. Nothing to cancel. And now Matu, the bear, is fighting back. The break as well. Matu losing some of the protection, but he still gets the opportunity to blink back to safety. Charge forward. The cookie on the illusion of the anti-mage. Sets up for the bear kill. Matu's back in with the Mana Void. Takes out Insania. A Secret, they punch back. They do need to use the 2 buybacks, but if they get the rush, it's absolutely worth it.
Oh, it's so worth Mickey. No buyback. He committed his gold while chasing forward. They dove too deep. They just dove way too deep. Without a BKB up on that Sven, they have so many different ways to catch him. Like we mentioned, that magic damage too.
I feel like we've seen a few teams just underestimate the power of the buyback. Yesterday in the Alliance versus Nigma series, we also sort of saw these moves from Alliance where they're going in and then the buybacks. These teams at the top are very good at utilizing them to make sure that any sort of, oh, hey, we can dive this. You've got to be careful, otherwise you will fall flat on your face.
Especially when it's around a Roshan timing. You have to be so careful how you play with those dives when it is around Rosh, because now you're in a real rough spot. You have a less than 1k gold lead. You probably think that you're losing the game, right? In your position after that last fight, versus an Aegis Cheese now of an AM who already had a fantastic game on the AM. This has now gone quite in favor of Secret now in these next few moments, as they're going to just be able to assert a lot of dominance with this anti-mage. And Matu's actually not going for the Basher. I think he realized how hard he was getting hit when he tried to stand toe-to-toe with both the Lone Druid and the Sven. Just itemized for armor, as the physical damage is the only thing he has to worry about at the moment.
Liquid, they're charging straight back out. See what sort of a catch they can find, though. It's hard, though. Secret keeping to the side. Mickey queuing up that silver edge, so it's got an additional way of sneaking in, breaking the anti-mage and the Viper.
No reason to not build it, right? You have Echo Saber anyway. Might as well get yourself a nice slot there. Secret, though, DD at the ready. Got everything ready to look for some type of frags here if they can catch some hero. And Koikfus continuing to look extremely fragile every time they can't find him.
Hiding right behind that tier 2, though, Liquid.
Yeah.
A little tricky for Secret to get them initially.
Deep ward's getting placed down.
Yeah, just Secret getting all 3 lanes onto Liquid's half of the map. Trying to force Liquid to show themselves that they do, as I say, stay hidden in the fog. All 5 of Liquid off the map. Quakefor will start to show mid with the bear.
Matu starts forcing in that bottom wave, so if there is a fight that starts getting picked toward mid, look at this, he's already ready for the racks.
You're going to have to make some quick decisions if you're Liquid. Who's going back to defend? Who's taking the fight?
Boxy's already starting to ping it. They've got the glyph available. It's starting to drop. Just the one reaction instantly. Now they're going to shift their way toward mid. Their lanes are in a good position on Secret, so they can move from lane to lane. And it looks like Puppy's going to be the one that pushes in that top one as well to try to split Liquid up.
I mean, if you're Liquid, how do you make an aggressive play against this sort of control and pressure that Secret are applying?
You have to try to catch the heroes that are not anti-mage. Isolate the anti-mage, catch these heroes that are in the back lines, but it's been tough. This could be an opportunity, though. Mickey, he's looking for Puppy when he's doing the split push. And they will be able to find him.
They get in with a grab.
Great.
So that's a bit of a start to an open there, and that is a dead puck for 90 seconds.
Long time.
So a good window now for Liquid to make these aggressive moves, knowing that they have the numbers here. 5 versus 4. They have to do something that whilst this puck's gone. This really is an opportunity for Liquid to find more, and we have it straight away with the smoke. They've got to go right now.
Look at bottom, though. Boxy is showing it. All of Secret's down here. They want to try to go for him.
Let's see if Boxy can live long enough for the backup to come in. TP's on its way. Cross the Who stomp onto Yabzor. Lift up as well with the telekinesis. Can they burst him down with a charge forward from Mickey? They can. They take down another. See if they can chase for more. Secret, they've now got to back out. The 3 of them left. Nisha able to TP away, but Zai's not going to be as fortunate. Insane with a stolen cookie, feeds it to the bear, jumps him in, and Liquid, they find the 3rd. Cleaning up the illusions there as well, Mickey, but this is what you got to see from Liquid. They realize they have to make something happen, and they do. They get themselves 3 kills.
Have to make the fast moves whenever you do find even any type of pick off like that. So great moves from Liquid, good responses. Secret, a little crazy, them trying to go for Boxy there. As soon as they miss the initial stun, I feel like you just have to instantly get away. Stick around just a little bit too long, and Liquid responds nicely. Now it's still some time that they can actually look to claim a tier 2. And this bear is starting to get kind of strong here. He has the Basher and the MKB up now, so he does have a decent amount of control if he's able to get it on the AM.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see Liquid. See how much they can charge in for this. I mean, Mickey's got the ult ready to pop. He is very ready to fight.
Level 25 too.
Let's see what they're going to start doing here. They get the jump in. Boxy, who's up onto the 2 of them. They're going to lift up onto the Viper, and Viper just gets shredded by Mickey. Nisha's out.
Radiant's middle tower.
See what more they can do. Mickey did pop the God Strength for this. Again, definitely it feels more respect from Liquid this time round. Sure, Nisha is dead, but they expect him to have the buyback. So with him gone for a minute, they're not going to start running in, diving for more. They know that Secret, they will respond like they did a fight attempt about 10 minutes ago on the top lane.
Yeah, good discipline. Very hard for Nisha to survive. I think now it's like he needs like an Aeon disc or something like that to try to protect himself, because he just gets blown up. Even with Ghost Scepter, there's no real decent play. Like you can't pop the Ghost Scepter before the stun because it gets dispelled. So
here comes the chase. It Stampede popped. Insania continue to be chased down by Yapso, but now Yapso's gone in deep. The telekinesis into the stolen cookie. Jump ball from Mickey. Batu, he's going to try and fight back. Looks towards Boxy, but he cannot beat down the two of them. He gets disarmed. Has to blink back. Very, very cute little turnaround there from Insania with the lift into Cookie. Liquid there, they really are keeping it cool. The pressure, as you can see, is absolutely on this. You have to be so focused when you're playing against this split of the anti-mage, and they're holding on to the game, Liquid. They're keeping themselves at an advantage now, 4K, and they're really starting to make it so the Secret, they've got to really think about how they make their plays.
Yeah, Zai, now bottom, look at Mickey. He's already wrapping around onto Zai here. Zai might be able to get the kill here onto Insania. He does get him.
Does get the kill. He's got the disarm, but the Stampede's there from Boxy, keeping Mickey on top of Zai. Zai, he'll go down. The Dream Core's there onto the two of them, as now Nisha starts to punch back onto the Centaur. Matu blinking in as well, looking for Boxy. Boxy may just be left behind her or not. No, Quaifa comes in with the bear, fears back Secret, giving some space for Boxy to continue to run. Steps into the trees, gets another boost on back. Boxy, he's living, and now the X out. Matu with the BKB. He's going to look for Boxy. First down towards the end, but he's been raided. Matu, he's done. He's dead. He's gone for 100. Matu is out of the game. He's spent up. He does not have buyback on this anti-mage. And Nisha, he's been found as well. Mickey stuns up to the creeps, catches Nisha in the range of the stun. There's 4 dead on Secret.
Can they end it? I think they can just end.
That's a dead anti-mage, no buyback.
If they know, they can just go for 2 and 4s. Hit this and start prompting, start letting them know that you might be aware of them not having buyback. They could look to actually pressure it here, but they're being a little hesitant here because they don't know. There is still a Viper buyback, so probably still pretty hard for them to just straightforward end it, but huge fight for them getting those stuns.
Very nicely baited by Boxy.
Yeah.
Sure, he dies, but the way that he's drawing Secret's attention, the call from Tiger to pop the Supernova. I mean, Matu, he goes in with the BKB, doesn't actually start hitting the egg straight away, goes for the Boxy kill. Even if he went straight for the egg, probably wouldn't have had enough hits to take it down on his own. And he just gets caught underneath it all. The roots come out from the bear, and he just cannot fight.
Root, and I think one bash too, just bashed under the egg, and it was level 20 that Taiga had just hit, so Supernova plus a nice, beautiful Sunray just beaming out of it the entire time too, focusing on Matu.
And that's a 12K lead for
12K
Liquid.
now, wow. Some huge fights for them in these last few moments, just being able to get these pickoffs. It all started with them catching the puck top and then making those quick moves bottom and just constantly being fast with their movements.
Yeah, the sort of the tactics from Liquid really starting to show.
Exquisite.
And now, I mean, Quakefa's game is fully recovered. After all these last few moments.
I mean, now a Secret, the move that you've been trying to make those last few times with Matu out alone, does sort of the game plan change now because you are playing from sort of considerably behind as an overall team now?
I think they still probably have to look to do that same kind of style. I think they just have to be more aware of not trying to focus Boxy at all. Like, that's what caused all that to happen, right? Boxy was playing himself and baiting himself, kind of, I'll use the Brian word, right? What is it, dangle? He was dangling himself or whatever. And they got baited by the dangle. So they have to just be a little bit careful of who they want to go for with their focus fire. Maybe look for those backlines a little bit more when they do go for those fights, but it's just tough. It's getting hard now because of how much Liquid has gotten over those last few fights. All these heroes have gotten an extra item or two because of those last few one fights. Arcane Rune plus Spell Risk on Mickey.
Mickey's on the hunt, puppy.
Whoop.
He's out. Instant reactions there from the puck.
Radiant are scanning.
Look at these cooldowns.
Matu's going to start poking. Liquid's going to have to head back.
Dire's bottom
As Matu on the base. See the TP's come in. Now I'm going to pop the Stampede box. He's going to try and chase this down here.
Oh, Mick is going to try to cut him off. Look at this. He's darting all the way across the map.
He's got a TP though, and he's going to start TPing out there from the trees as he's away. Only just in time though. Insania nearly found it back over towards mid. The kisses come out onto Tiger. Take down the Phoenix and maybe able to beat down onto the bear as well as he gets slowed up. They'll find it and back the roll over onto Quaifa. He needs help. Insania with the stolen blink jumps in, gets the lead in onto Nisha as Mickey goes forward with the ult. Matu jumps in. He's ready to try and fight back against the Sven. He's looking towards Mickey. Has to blink away there. Mickey just doing too much damage. The mana just there enough for through to jump over. One small to Yapzor. Double kill for Mickey. The fear from the bear pushes back Zai into the reaches of the Sven as Mickey claims the triple and Roche is up. Liquid into the pit. Nisha out for 90 without buyback. This is going to be a free Roshan for Liquid.
Yep, and even though Taiga dies, immediately buys back. He's back into the fight. Nisha, no buyback. Another one fight for Liquid, the way they're able to set up. Nisha's hero has just completely fallen off in these last few moments. Mickey knows, I click stun on you, you have no way to play around it. Even though he did, like we mentioned, Nisha bought Ghost Scepter to try to deal with Sven, but Stormhammer Dispel, like, you can't actually play around it. You're dead in the one stun. It's very tough to actually do. And yeah, now Liquid, they've got a timing window here where they could look to pressure in that mid. They've got their lanes in a okay position.
Matu.
Radiant's
He's tried for it here.
He's not going to get it. Sania's out of there. The side of Liquid, they're taking this mid-brax. And they'll get it. No defensive from Secret. The mid-brax are taken. As Liquid have just done an excellent job in this second half of the game, outplaying Secret.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Puppey trying his best to do the split push. He gets grabbed by Insania.
Is under attack.
Mickey's actually teeping back to try to go for this kill here. Now they're going to get chased, though.
They are Zai.
See if we
Quickly
can get
lead
out.
in, looking towards Boxy. Matu, who's he want to go for? He's going to try and blink down bottom, but already Liquid, they've split up in a way that Matu not quite able to find the target. Liquid's going to get everyone out of there.
Good disengage.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
Getting tough for Team Secret to actually find anything with the way Liquid is playing all together around each other.
Dire's structures are fortified.
That is what you sound like.
And they're starting to get all these level 25s now built together. Koifa's game, like we said, has been recovered quite a bit ago. Now has hit level 25. Much stronger threshold for him.
Very hard for Secret to really fight into them 5v5 right now.
Yeah. Now it's gotten just so much more difficult. I think they were more around that mid-game peak timing, right? With at least the first four heroes that they have. The Puck, the Earth Spirit, Viper, and Snapfire, very strong around that early game, but once they start getting collapsed on, game has definitely gotten so much harder. Taiga now with that Refresher Shard too on top. Another level 25 also for Liquid. Game not getting easier for Secret.
Is under attack. Dire are scanning.
So if they can catch any of Secret here, as two of them starting to head out. Zai's already away. This scan
Dire's top tower
didn't quite catch onto Puppey. Puppey also able to TP out in time. Won't find any catches here. Puppey also having the Aghanims now complete. As
All right. Pretty good pickup there. Very strong versus these heroes. Sven still has ways to play around it, sure, but definitely a good pickup there for them. Still hard fights. Very tough fights for them to go through these very tanky heroes now that the AM can't actually just jump Abyssal and kill because he went for that AC for more the defensive aspect. Now he's getting close to the Abyssal though.
He's just going to take a bit of damage back to himself when he's hitting them with that 25 on the Centaur.
Yeah.
Giving...
Oh, but Boxy showed very far forward here. Do they have enough to bring him down? When they commit everything, they do.
That is what you sound like.
I mean, you know, fair play, Boxy feels he's tanky. He just wasn't quite tanky enough to be making plays that far out on his own.
Some time now without a Centaur, 90 seconds. They still have Aegis, though, during the entirety of while he's gone. But some time for them to finish up their items, finish up in particular Matu's Abyssal, and probably still have close to buyback afterwards. Abyssal changes the whole dynamic of Anti-Mage, because that's where he can actually look to jump into the backlines and just kill heroes before the fight starts. So let's see if that is something that they're going to try to do while the Centaur is dead. They are smoked up. Coil should be coming back up pretty soon. About 10 seconds. And Liquid, they should know. Yeah, they know something's up. They should definitely just sit in the base and wait for this time.
Yeah, playing very defensive.
Ooh, baited by the Illusionist Cape.
It's under attack.
And it's a stolen coil as well. Not only does the coil,
He's got an
Ag's coil stolen,
Yeah.
because Rubik has his own.
All right, insane. Yeah, he's going to have a...
Oof.
He's going to have a lovely time with that one. Already having a brilliant game, of course. Insania 2-3 and 23 on this Rubik.
That's a tough one. Matu cannot play around that easily at all. Even with his BKB, like if he gets caught in the coil, he's very likely to just die.
That's that's going to cause some huge issues in the next fight. To the point where Matu, he's probably top of this list now, is to get on that Rubik, make sure that he's not able to get his spells off.
Yep. A big steal and a big play there, right? Even just these small things, illusion escape bait, right? The little things in Dota that can really change the tide, change things a lot. Everyone's getting close to 25 on the side of Liquid. Secret not quite in the same boat by any means. Puppy's actually the second highest level on the team. Standard Puppy.
Yeah, with the way that he's been splitting out these lanes, he's
the only one who can.
Yeah.
He's got the elusive plays to be able to. The other heroes are just very immobile, so if they try to split push, they'll just die. I think Boxy now has a full Hex, right? He's about to if he sells that wand.
I mean, just looking at the kills as well, I mean, you couldn't sort of write it any better for the way that it's gone for Liquid with regards to the kills, right? You have your carry, 20 kills, 1 on 5. Everybody else, you know, this is the dream team for a carry Sven. They've let him, or he's just been there to get them. He's got all the kills.
Yep.
Now this is a very happy place for Mickey to be in.
Dream game for carry Sven, and they also have the backup of a secondary carry from that lone druid too. Although, like we said, Koikfoot was having a bit of a rough one, fully recovered. And they continue to scale very, very hard with these cores. And even their supports. Like, look at that. Like, Phoenix and Rubik are farming like beasts. Phoenix continues to get stronger and stronger as games progress. See what Secret does here. These fights look like they're going to be very difficult for them.
Trying to catch them off guard with the smoke.
They're kind of split at the moment.
Going for this turn off the outpost.
Mickey.
He's going to show. He's keeping it cool. Will now show, but smoke coming to an end. Secret have already started to back off. Still unable to find that catch that they'd hoped for. At least, you know, I mean, they get the outpost, but it is going to fall back into the hands of Liquid easily before this 50-minute mark.
Yeah. Liquid now all together. There's a bit of a scary moment there for when Secret had smoke because they were split up. Secret couldn't find anybody there. They're gonna see Puppy there for a second if they want to try to commit. He does have Aeon Disc as well as the Magic Lamp though, so 2 different little ways to bail himself out if he does get gone on. And how much longer do we have on the Rubik Steel? I think that's kind of something that Secret's really wary of. Yeah,
there's still a decent amount.
Still a decent chunk of time on it.
Yeah, Secret going to be very aware of fighting whilst that's still there for Insania.
I mean, I don't even know how long it lasts. That's the one thing. Because with Arcane Supremacy, Coil already lasts, what, it's like 7 seconds with Ags or so? So it's going to be like 10 seconds of a Coil where you're just leashed as an anti-mage. 10 seconds of a Coil is insane. So definitely got to be very careful.
Now Liquid's starting to push up. Getting a bit more aggressive as it comes to the end of this timing where Insania has the Coil.
Yep. Really trying to force the issue.
Let's see what Secret's going to do about him. And quite fat.
The BKB Bear with the Sunray.
It's taking these racks pretty quick. They're allowed to use the fortification. Slows down Liquid a little bit. Liquid now knowing that Secret will have everybody here ready to fight. And Matu going the only way that he really can right now. Nisha mid lane. Bottom lane, they get them jumping onto Nisha. Nisha's been hexed there, but force him to the side. Dream goes out to 2 and then pop the egg.
Very defensive positioning.
Matu did go in incredibly aggressive for the backlines, and he's gone for it. He's dead. He's out of the game. He does have buyback. The big aggressive move from Matu, punching heavily. Now they're looking to jump in onto Mickey. Have they got the control? Mickey getting stunned up. He popped the Satanic. No, he's turning. He's going to be able to start live streaming as
another egg.
Comes the end. The exit. Matu. They're turning Matu. He fought back for this, and he's dead again. Matu dead and gone. He's out of this one for 2 minutes as Liquid. They should be able to resume this cleanup or at least finish off this bottom racks. The melee racks are gone. Mickey charging him once more with the stun onto Yapso. Yapso's dead, going to die, or is he? He's going to live. Nisha goes down. Nisha bites back. Liquid poking a little close to the fountain now. See if Secret can punish this. Liquid focusing back towards the objectives. Nisha starting to stack up the poison on Boxy. Mickey, he's back in. Charges forward yet again. The Cookie trying to save Nisha, keeping him apart from Mickey. Mickey, they're pushing very dangerously close towards the fountain here, Liquid. They may need to calm it down a little bit. Jesus Pop will heal Mickey back up, and the fight it is slowing him down. The hex is on the Puppy. Mickey charges over on towards Yapso, and Yapso cooking back towards the fountain. Mickey pops the BKB, but he spins Sound gets the stun off onto Nisha, though, and he's done it. He's killed off Nisha, and mid lane, Quaifa, he's just finishing it off.
GG.
as well, so we know that that potential is there. It's not like we're trying, you know, every secret out fan out there. It's not like we're trying to trash talk your team. It's just that we're trying to find holes in the way they are thinking, or maybe, you know, trying to get into their heads a little bit and understand why they're thinking what they are, because that seems so far to be a fairly impossible task for a lot of teams facing them over the last few months, maybe over the last few years even. And Liquid was in the head of Team Secret in game number 1. Let's see what they can do in game number 2.
Doom is still in the pool.
Correct. So is the Tiny.
I like the Phoenix ban. I think Taiga's Phoenix was absolutely beautiful. And I think they played around it really well too, as a team.
Knowing Team Liquid, like, they just love to have Oracle as a hero. It could be a possibly good hero against the Doom, like any kind of save, something that can reset the fight. Wyvern is the second hero that comes to my mind. You know, you just use Winter's Curse. You have a healing, you can just break the fight, try to run away. Okay, there we go. The green stuff.
Rubik steals the Doom too, so, you know, it's something. It's not a defensive counter, but if you can get a Doom for yourself, that's always pretty nice.
I mean, as far as meta picks go, though, I like Secrets a bit better than Team Liquid's right now. What about the Undying second pick? Makes it second pick.
Where do I start? Undying. I don't have any good words from my boy Undying. His win rate's not that high. We watched, I mean, even though it was a Divine League, I believe he was 1 out of 10 games. He won 1 of the 10 games, and it's pretty awful. It's also one of the... It's very unfun to play.
It's one of the least fun,
yeah,
I would say.
So they banned the Lone Druid in the second banning stage. Well, I kind of expected it to be in the first one, but I guess there's way too many good heroes left in the pool.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
I guess to some degree, the Undying is like a bit of a Doomancer. You know, you've got heals. It's if you do end up running this in the offlane, it will deal with it very well because it's a melee strength offlaner. And then I just think the nature of like dropping a tombstone, popping your ult on Undying, Doom doesn't exactly like fighting into that. You know, you doom somebody, you want to just keep running after them. You don't want to chase into a tombstone. So it's not like the best thing. You know, you're not going to just relocate somebody out with IO, for example. But it's something. It's something. And then you have the Rubik to steal too. So it's a bit of like playing their own game while still addressing the Doom as a hero.
Yeah, it's also Undying against 2 strength melee cores, possibly a core. One could easily be shifted, second one as well. But like a good Undying game. I never thought I'm gonna say that, but
excuse me,
here we are.
But we're 2 picks in.
It still feels very good. Like, Doom doesn't like to play into Undying. That's for sure.
Okay.
Honestly, it's hard to tiny toss too with the zombie spawning. Like, that is one of the more annoying things.
You can toss accident.
Yeah, absolutely. Very annoying.
Checking.
Maybe there's a point that you couldn't, I think. It's been on and off. They've changed that.
Thank you.
Sometimes. You're welcome, I got you. What were you gonna say?
Once again, they go with the Slardar ban, so that could possibly mean that they want to get another melee core as their safe laner. Like, Slardar is just a great hero right now.
5 seconds.
I think when you're playing against Liquid too, it's kind of mandatory to at least consider that hero. You know, whenever that hero is viable, Boxy is. I'd say it's fair to call him the best Slardar on the planet. Who's better?
I mean, I haven't seen anybody play Slardar recently. Not that often, anyway.
I feel like he's the best.
I mean, I trust you for it. There's a Enchantress PL ban and a Spectre ban as well, going from the side of Team Liquid. And do we feel like those bans say anything? I guess the anti-mage still want to ban him. If you can't get your hands on a Lone Druid, you don't want to have to deal with it. What about the Enchantress and the PL, though? Is there anything that we can gauge from those 2 bans?
Team Secrets.
Enchantress as a hero is just extremely strong in the laning stage, depending. It really doesn't matter like which kind of a build you go for. Puppy usually just gets a heal, runs in, tanks a couple of spells, heals up to fully, you know, just creating space for his carry. And he's one of the few heroes that has the spell built in, which is a pretty big deal at the moment.
Yeah, there's not much of that these days. Really not much of that. just a puppy special, honestly. I feel like if you're playing at Secret, you know, going back to the Slardar, it's very similar in that sense.
I love this matchup, Doom against Morphling. Like, this is the hero that you want to Doom pretty much.
You like being the Doom?
No, I like being the Morph.
Okay,
if
I
I'm
was gonna
fast
say.
enough with the fingers, you know, you get the Morph off,
And you're
it
fine.
just feels like a waste to Doom.
It's fairly obvious when he's running out, he's like, Doom, you know, it's pretty projected that he's doing that.
Unless he is coming out of the trees or has a Shadow Blade.
Even with the blink, like the cast animation of Doom is fairly high, I would say.
Right.
And you have enough time. If you're paying attention, if you're a pro player playing for money, you should be able to do it.
Fast
You're going
enough
to be playing around
reaction.
wards too, and he can't get the Centaur Stomp. That is one thing. You can stomp into Doom, but then there's the Lincoln's possibility. And I mean, it's a lot of conditions when you would like to just Doom, I don't know, just Doom some Slark or Medusa or something like that. These are random heroes that I'm listing, but you know, you'd rather Doom a guy that doesn't just have instantly 8,000 HP by pressing one button.
But at the same time, they picked Doom first phase, first pick, not just because the Doom, surely. Like, there must be more to it because you don't know what enemy heroes are going to be there. So it must be, you know, good for other reasons other than just Doom.
Yeah, but most of the time you don't see Doom being left in the pool, so you're like, yeah, we're gonna get it. It's not just, you know, the hero is that extremely strong right now, pretty much counters every single core. Like, you need to get like a Lincoln Sphere, or you need to have something that breaks the fight, you know, just stops them. And when you have a Doom in your team, you need to have a good catch. Otherwise, they're just gonna run away. Okay, this is a pretty good hero against the Doom. Like, they can't enter the arena. It's it could be used as a defensive purpose in the game.
It's the same thing as like the Undying Tombstone. There's just so much disruption for if Doom wants to commit to a fight. Okay, all of a sudden you're committing into a Mars ulti and to a Tombstone. Like, good luck committing to that. Even if you Doom somebody, you're just getting away.
But at the same time, I kind of feel like Tiny can toss Mars out of the... Vengeful Spirit can swap people out of the arena. I kind of feel like there's a lot there already.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, you know what? Yesterday, my panelists were mentioning Visage a lot. They were really wanting to see it. We didn't see it yesterday, but it was on the radar.
I think this hero's kind of bad.
Oh.
I think the 2 Soul Assumption talent is good,
10 seconds
but I don't think it's a worthwhile talent to play for. And the items that Visage would go for, you know, Dom, Medallion, possibly Necro, like these early game items are not that good. These aura items, I really don't think they're that great. And then there's also a response pick to the Visage.
You have a Doom who's kind of aura carrier, so if you can get Alpha Wolf with the bird, someone builds a Vlad's in the team, it's possibly a good Visage game. I feel this is a sleeper hero. We're gonna see more of the hero for sure.
Possibly a good Visage game.
Possibly, yeah.
I'm curious. I mean, I'm totally open to being proven wrong. Like, this is just my gut feeling. You don't see much of this hero, so it's really hard to get a read on it. So this will be a very good test of, is Visage dog shit or dog food? That doesn't sound good.
Who's gonna play it? Is it Nisha?
Most likely.
Yeah.
What could they go against Visage? They could maybe get like a gyro.
Timber. Come on. Easy Timber game.
For Liquid?
Yeah,
for Liquid.
10 seconds remaining.
Do they play Liquid? Or do they play Timber?
They do. I think Koikfa
plays it, but then you have Mars.
But I think Koikfa plays it too.
Maybe.
But I say that a little
Mars, but you're running Boxy mid, you're running Koikfa in a side lane. I mean, I'm sure they're more capable in most situations, but they are up against Team Secret, so it's sometimes can get. They have swapped their positions though before. They've done that. They've done that quite a lot.
I got extra information on the side. You have to ban the Drow, said Fogged. I don't know why. Why do you have to ban a Drow? Just because Drow Visage is still a thing?
But it doesn't work with the birds anymore, so...
Still.
Like...
Well, what is it then? I don't know.
Now he's just
smiling. He'll explain when they're live.
If the birds had agility, that would be pretty sick.
You need a hero that plays like fast, that wants to end the game, but also that scales well in the late game.
Okay.
And you have Venge, so Drow just feels good. And, you know, Morphling doesn't like to play into silence. None of the heroes like to play, oh, I like to play against heroes who have silence. No one says that, but...
And Venge Drow is still really good too.
It is.
5 seconds remaining.
They banned out the Void first, so we got that core out of the way.
Oh yeah, that's he's been like relatively untouched, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Templar Assassin banned on the side of Team Secret.
Pretty solid against the Visage in lane.
Yeah. I mean, they're still...
So much the game.
We are still expecting
Turn to pick.
mid-hero, Kunkka ban. You know, the Drow is still in the pool. Let's see. It's a Shadow Fiend.
Whoa.
Expecting that.
So, safe lane Visage, Shadow Fiend mid.
Hey? Oh,
That's
you know what?
spider.
You know what? That's not... They have a Tiny. Just flex Tiny to core. Yeah, that's easy.
That's easy?
Yeah, you just put Tiny core. Just Doom support. They weren't going to do that in the first place, but they're going to do it now.
Yeah, Shadowfin cannot play into Broodmother.
Okay.
Like, he gets ran over, but what Jenkins said, 3-throw, extremely good against the Broodmother and the Spiderlings.
You just one-hit the spiders. It's very sad.
So what you're saying is this gotcha spider pick from Team Liquid is already countered by just swapping some lanes around.
Yeah, it's definitely not really a gotcha in this game.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
Smarter than all of us together combined. So
wow.
I don't, you know.
I think you're
doubt his
mostly insulting Jenkins here because I don't add much to the equation.
Well, no, I'm not gonna. Don't look at me. I'm not gonna disagree with that. I mean, you could say basically quite a few people. Majority.
No. So what we're saying is, Brood good, Brood not good. 2-0, 1-1. What's happening here in the second game of the series?
I think the Brood's not a gotcha. That's all.
No, okay.
They could have talked this through, maybe think this through a bit more, I would say. It was like instant Broodmother pick.
Yeah.
It's counterable with Tiny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I think so. But I do like the other heroes on Liquid though. I really like the Mars, and I really like the Undying as an answer to the Doom. I think it's interesting. It's not your traditional counter, but I think it's an interesting way of dealing with it, and I have confidence in it.
All right, well, let's see how the second game of the series plays out between Team Liquid and Team Secret with ODPixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Shiva. And yeah, looking at this game 2 draft, Fogged, coming into game 1 at the time, panel said draft from Liquid did look better, and it did play out to be better. This time round, how would you sort of compare the drafts from Secret and Liquid?
I mean, still looks like a pretty damn strong Liquid draft, right? I think they covered their bases too, so they get that Morphling in a good pick, right? They ban the AM, then they ban the PL, so they get this good setup for this Morph, and then they have this Brood insane Space Maker for Mickey Morphling. Mickey, a specialist, that's one of his top heroes too, right? So I think you'd be pretty happy if you're in this position on the side of Team Liquid. But yeah, Secret coming out with a little bit of a curveball. Lots of minus armor draft, right? The Venge, the Shadow Fiend, Visage, high amounts of just damage in general. And yeah, we'll see how they end up doing this one. It looks like it's going to be that safe lane Visage. They're going to put the Shadow Fiend still in that mid lane. I don't think...
Do you like... I mean, the panel said that they would have liked to see the switch up with pushing the Tiny to the mid against the Brood. SF's going to have a hard time. I mean, obviously, Secret feel that isn't a problem.
I don't think it's... I mean, I guess it depends on how they want to lane it. Like, they're going to put double op supports in the mid lane to kind of scout to see if there's any like rotations and switches of the lane. And they're just... Looks like they might just put the Doom mid. I'm not sure. They're switching their things a lot here to see which they're going to decide. I don't think the Shadow Fiend's as bad as people really think that it is, though.
Okay.
Because the early levels for Brood suck. Right? They're just not good. So once you start building, then it starts becoming a little bit too much for Shadow Fiend. But Shadow Fiend, he still has raises. So if you land 2-3 raises on those spiders, they're just all gone. So I think it's gotten a little bit better. And you have ways to work around with those camps now near you as a Shadow Fiend. So we'll see how that one plays out. That's the lane they're doing. Yeah, they're going to actually put an aggro tri-lane, it looks like, to shut down the Morphling. And they're going to put a Doom in a 1v1 versus a Mars. And just leave Nisha to his own devices.
And do you think, is that going to work well on the top lane? Then this is going to be a pretty rough start for the Morph?
Undying is kind of one of those kings, though, right? So it all depends on the positioning of these heroes, where they are. It's the first few levels on Liquid are a bit weak, but once you start getting like the level 2s and 3s, they get a lot stronger. I do like this move, though, by Secret.
And we'll see how this mid lane does start things off. I mean, outside of the SF, this Broodmother pick, how good is it here in this game? You know, being the last pick that Liquid did come forward.
The Brood overall, like they said on the panel, it's good versus the majority of the heroes. It's actually very strong versus the 4. Even good versus Shadow Fiend in the mid game. That's the thing, is like you won't always be able to line up your your raises perfectly. In the laning phase, it's a little different, but in mid game, starts to get to be quite a big problem. Absor finds himself one courier. Is he going to find himself another? Not quite yet. Puppy, careful. That's 28 decay on Insania.
Gonna get that last hit in, he can't quite. Puppy, it's on the movement speed to get back and pop the sound, but now Yapso just walks over the toss onto Tiger, Solar Serpent as well, it's enough. Secret, they'll be the ones to claim first blood. Insania trying to punch back a Puppy. Has to be careful here, so the tri-lane, a Secret being the one to claim that first kill here in this all-action setup.
But Matu's not getting last hits. He's only got the 2 under his belt. Mika, he's taking the pressure his teammates are providing. You know, his teammates are soaking up that pressure, and Mika is just able to last hit freely because of that. These levels now start building up, though. It becomes a lot more threatening for both sides, even.
And the most this is all going on, the bottom lane being left as the Doom versus Mars. I mean, who's having the greater time here?
I think you're pretty happy as Doom. You just have Devour, so you're just chilling. You're gonna outfarm the Mars pretty heavily.
See top lane.
Yapsor.
Back onto Yapsor. And we'll be able to decay him down. Zip it forward with the waveform as well. They'll find the kill. Liquid. Mickey not only having no trouble hitting the creeps up here, but also getting a very early kill. Puppy and Matu also
a
second one here as Insania claps down Puppy.
Oof, Undying just able to just crush that lane, and I think they all have wand charges already up, or wands up there for the side of Liquid. I know that Mickey already had a lot built up, so.
Because that is the thing. Do you like this decision from Secret? They obviously want to, as you say, play the tri lane into the morph, but you are choosing to do it into this lineup with an Undying.
I know. I guess it's just the best way that they thought about their lane, the way it could be set up. I don't think they wanted to just leave a Doom top and just be like, well, good luck, you know, because Doom does not want to lane versus Undying at all. It would just ruin him. Koikva, whoa. Insania suicides behind the tower.
So yeah, they are looking into the trees to try and find Mickey, but form back over towards the tower.
Lane positioning is really important up top. If they have the lane, like if Secret has the lane pretty far down and they actually have a lot of chase, then they can do a lot, right? Because they have the stun, the toss back, they have constant soul assumptions. But Liquid overall, if they have a lane in their favorable position, they can do kind of similar with those decay building up.
He's
got a lot of sticks building up.
Boxy healing up as well with the pole charges. Just get the spear, but not the connection, so Zai will be okay though with those one charges.
Zai definitely lacking on the regen department down here because of that bottle picked up from Boxy's going to start pulling ahead, at least in the last hit.
Top, another bit of a poke onto Insania. Mickey's courier actually getting in a bit of a precarious position as he gets taken out. And Mickey, he also loses his life there. A big old mistake there from Mickey. And he also cost them Insania as the soul assumption. It'll do it. Matu takes down the Undying as well. Losing his cool a bit there, Mickey. It's the courier and then feeds his own life.
Have to be so careful around Tiny. Just that's insane burst potentially. Stop the shift for just a split second. You stop shifting, boom, he's gonna go for that. Koikva, he's stepping up a bit far here, and do they have a third raise?
They do. Nisha's got the mango.
Maybe passed off by Poppy or something, or he did it himself, but either way, beautiful setup there. And look how well Nisha's doing in that mid. That's what I was talking about. He's able to farm those spiders pretty freely a lot of the time.
44 CS at so the pre-55-minute mark, that's not something you see even on an SF.
Yeah.
That really isn't, as you say, just destroying the armies that Koikva is summoning.
Look at Zai. He's waiting for Boxy to try to go for a rune. Up top, Yapsor, Puppy. Will able to finish off Taiga. No, the heals.
That's going to keep him alive or not. Oh, the soul assumption getting that nuke too much from Tumberman.
Yapsor is trying to keep the distance, and he'll be able to. See, Zai down bottom, he was actually camping between the tower and the 2 runes because he knows Boxy has the bottle, so ensuring that Boxy can't actually walk over to get that rune, and he's zoned him out of lane now for the moment as that Doom. See those drops now being picked up in his top lane. Soul Assumption and Tiny Venge. Very expected to have those at least.
Still with the kills that Secret are getting top. Very much that. The big difference between the Visage and the Morphling mid lane. Nisha. Ganked upon by Tiger. Quackfup gonna dive in. As the Avalanche won't be able to find the safety to survive there. Nisha as Nisha falls. Top lane. Sania poking towards Puppy. They've got to be careful. I mean, these movements, they're always going to be very hard for Nisha to avoid in the mid lane as this SF on his own. Very easy for Liquid to get on top of him, and with one rotation set up for Quakefoot to get a kill. Yeah,
he needs, like, when that happens, it has to be almost an instant TP from either Yapso or Puppy in order to try to bail him out. Mickey? Big stun from the tree line there. No shift just yet. Now he does get the shift off, but it's a lot of burst. But ring drop plus those wand charges, he'll be okay.
And back again. Mid lane, it's a replay. This is live. Don't adjust your television sets. This is not a replay. That happens a second time there, straight up the same move.
And now he's on the lane for Quakefa because of those 2 quick moves there. Really heads up there by Taiga. As they know, they're soaking pressure top with just these 2 heroes pretty nicely. So I do like that he's actually just sitting around the mid lane instead of just going back up there. But you know, Secret, they're going to look to continue getting aggressive, especially when there is no Rubik up here.
Straight away, Mickey, he's going to turn over towards Tummerman, Puppy. The magic missile stops Mickey from being able to go for more. They'll also farm up the tombstone.
Oh.
Good gold here for Secret.
Okay, they went for the Veil on Matu. I actually like that a lot because it's so early. They have so much magic damage up.
Take a blow. Mickey's got a fair bit of HP built up, and even with the high burst, not enough still to tear through that morph, as Mickey will survive.
All right. Yeah, crazy amount of burst potential up in that top lane. Those range drops are definitely going to save Mickey in a couple different situations here, but he's getting pressured in the lane. Like, look at Mickey's farm because of just how much sheer damage is coming out. He's having to spend so much on regen.
After, you know, so the first fight where he really was keeping a lead over Matu, just these kills now, the Secret's getting them back on top. You get the drag back onto Puppy as Boxy comes in with rotation. We'll set up for the Venge kill.
Okay.
So starting to make moves around the map now. Boxy seeing out.
Oh, Nisha.
See, he's looking for that 8-minute rune, but already Quakefoot starting to push him away. Nisha's going to go for the TP out, and he's fine. Not enough damage from Quakefoot there as the nuke wasn't quite up yet again. But still, Nisha starting to get bullied, and you're going to see Quakefoot Spider just get further and further ahead now, unless Nisha gets some help, or the rest of Secret are starting to hunt the Spider down themselves.
Yeah, I think he has to have Yepsor playing with him for the most part now. It's just way too threatening, and I think this might actually just be them going for this tower push here. Is Secret going to respond? Nisha is playing on the side there to try to build up his soul. Okay, he's got some soul still filled up, so he's okay.
And 8.5 minutes in. It's a great timing, Boxy. It's going to be caught by the raise combo. Yapso with the toss-up. Not quite prepared for them being on the high ground as he walks straight up into them.
Nisha will say thank you for that. That's exactly what he needs to build to come back up after that lane, after getting ganked a couple times. And now they'll break the tri-lane. I think they did a really good job up there, though. They put the pressure on. A lot of different kills that made the game pretty hectic and chaotic, but I think they're definitely pretty happy as their Visage is almost level 6. They slowed down Mickey pretty decently, and their levels are decent. Mid, though, losing that tower early on is pretty painful. Koifa is also going to have his Orchid finished up at like the 11-minute, maybe even before that. So he's going to have a lot of different options he can do to move around the map. And like we said, it's a very good Brood game versus the majority of heroes that Team Secret does have.
Boxy is going to try and lead in here. The Doom's going to get dropped down on Boxy. Back up from time. And in front Secret as Nisha's heading over to help out with this one. The raise comes out, bursts down the bars. Mickey also falling as Nisha finds the second raise. They're going to lose 4 here, Liquid, as Secret respond. Nisha joins the fray, and they take the fight 4-1 there, Secret.
In very quick moments too. That Veil, Matu gets the Veil down onto everybody before he does go down. They take out the Tombstone and that Doom. Clutch Doom onto the Mars so that Matu can throw out some spells. And Nisha, he needs those. He needs those rotations to go well. Look, catapulted all the way up to top 2 net worth. Treads as well as drums now finished. He's a lot tankier.
And they have to be careful playing close to the towers like that.
Yeah.
Especially when you have these heroes like the Mars with these very sort of clearly orchestrated ults that says, I want to fight here. Secret are going to be very clear of what Liquid's intentions are, and will have the opportunity to respond. Zai. He found here by the three. It's pretty tanky, bringing Tiger down low himself. That Scorched Earth and the phase and the Finlex, he's also very speedy. He is away.
He tried to put down the GG branch and pin into it, but not quite able to there. Nice try there by Boxy. Meanwhile, top Puppey doing Puppey things. He's falling. They for a second here with Yapzor. Maybe trying to toss Zai in, but not quite able to. Orchid plus Medallion finished pre-11 minutes. That was pretty quick.
Yeah. As you say, this mid lane, you can't really be here alone as Secret. There's always got to be someone ready to provide support, otherwise this Spider is just going to lock down on a target and Quofa's going to get the kill on these sort of individual pickoffs if Secret do present to them, but they're not. They're playing smart, keeping themselves out of the way of the Spider.
Let's get tower trade. Gonna buy a little bit more time with this glyph, but inevitably will go down. Secret, I mean, these three cores farming real well. Ahead of that, more from that Mars in particular, who have struggled a little bit post that laning phase, just getting caught out. Mika really has to be very careful. This is not one of those games where it's a Morphling, you know, all the way up at that top net worth. He's very susceptible to all this burst damage that Secret does have. They have lots of stun, they have lots of control, and they have a Veil to make everything that much stronger.
Radiant's bottom tower
Mika does have to be a bit cautious with his positioning and how aggressively he does waveform in.
And with this smoke, Haste Rune in the arena ready to drop. Boxy wants to look for some action onto Secret. Secret a little split up and in the river right now, the two of them, Puppey and Yapzor. Maybe they can find a way to go. Gets the courier off. Niche as well there with that crash of the shield. And the Puppey kill as well. So Liquid's movement finds one. The rest of Secret don't know what's up now. Liquid don't want to go for more. They still have that arena. Boxy charged them with a Haste Rune. He's going to catch the two of them in the arena. The Spear as well, cancelling the Requiem. They do get the Visage drop with the bird to stun them in response. The Requiem also gets the chance to pop the ult there.
Oh my god.
Two, with those stuns from Familiar's allowed a chance to hit back. They'll still lose the SF though as Boxy comes in, finishes off the life of Nisha, but now he's surrounded by Zai, Yapzor and Matu's birds. This will be another one for Secret by the looks of it as Boxy is going to try his best to run away, but he's taking it from the tower. Puppey swaps himself in for the magic missile. Again, Liquid, they're just trying to go for these fights close to towers. They're getting the kills, but Secret are having the chance to at least trade back on them.
I cannot believe he got the Requiem off. Like 1% or 2% HP, he gets it just because of those stuns that come out. Nicely done there, my Matumba man. He dies, so he is very under level now in this Visage. Level 7, just hitting level 8, same as his supports. But another decent positioning for Secret to at least get themselves some gold and clean up that big Spider who gives them a lot of experience. But Mickey, at least, you know, he's on the other side of the map being able to get some farm for his team.
Top lane's up. Himself a bit of a snack here as Tiger is trying to run. Insania pop the rip down as well as okay. He's not going to save him though. That is still a dead Rubik. Mickey unable to get a catch in onto Puppey or Zai there.
And a tombstone committed too to try to protect his buddy there. And reactions forced. Mickey made his TP top. Same thing with Boxy. So another good aggressive move by Secret to buy themselves some time for Nisha to get some much needed farm. As I believe he's probably likely to rush a BKB, I'd imagine, on that SF, even on Visage. But no, he's gone greedy. All right.
Yeah, Dragonlance SNY, so the full stats.
Wow. Guess like a couple times where he did survive there, he's maybe feeling a little confident if he has a couple more stats. Yeah. They have Avenge swap to try to protect him anyway, so he's maybe going to play around that.
And now we're seeing on the timing of the Brood, we see the moment Quofa halfway towards the Aghanim. So,
very far.
That death up top, shaking his game up a little bit, but overall still holding on to that top spot as the Brood.
Yeah, I guess like going for like these stat items on the SF, if he goes for BKB too early, I guess maybe he feels like it'll wear out too fast, so just wanting to delay it as long as possible. Okay. YapzOr got his blink. He's on the side of Secret. Same timing also for Liquid. BO3 has his finish, so 3 blinks in the game. Doom, Tiny, as well as Mars. So we should probably see a lot more active plays now coming out. Not to say it hasn't been active, 26 kills in 15 minutes, but they're definitely gonna look to ramp up that pressure there. Probably look to get some more aggressive wards down too.
In these calmer moments, I mean, is it... Well, yeah, Secret, they're going to come in with a smoke. I was going to say that there's still what overall the pressure of this morph as the game goes on when you look at sort of the 2 teams and the potential of them later on.
Yeah, they have such good fight right now with Secret. They have so much damage that we were talking about.
YapzOr, he is able to get the avalanche, but he can't quite get the toss back. Zai, he find a target. In fact, Boxy's in. He's got the arena down onto the 3, but with the tombstone, the zombies. The work that we had to get the hit onto both the Vent, the Tiny, and this SF, the cancel as well of the Requiem initially by that telekinesis, stopping Nisha's inevitable turnaround as he's got to run. The nuke there from Quakefa. They take down YapzOr as well.
Nice ults there by Liquid. Gotta be careful here how they back up though, because Secret didn't really expend anything during that one there. There's the Doom. They find the more.
They do, and they catch him whilst he isn't shifting into strength. Insania trying to heal him back up. It's not gonna be enough. That soul assumption comes in. Zai finding that beautiful, the dream target. As he's getting onto the morph, and now look for even more. They're charging in. Oh, there was Tiger. They're gonna find the Rubik as well. Zai leading the team there back into the advantage. 3-0-8 right now on his Doom.
A great defensive ward being placed on that high ground in their jungle on the side of Secret, catching that Morphling, giving the vision, and that's what they had to be careful for, is the re-go. Because Secret, they hadn't used anything during that Mars ulti, so they had to know that eventually Secret was going to punch back, and it was just a Doom used. They still do have their Requiem available. See what else Secret wants to try to make happen with it. It could be a Roche. They have such a good Roche lineup. If they just force it here, there's no Mars ulti, there's no Tombstone just yet.
You can't fight this in Liquid. You're just going to get Requiemed away if you head over. A Secret.
Big moves. Huge by Zai in that Doom.
They're going to get this for... Oh, I mean, can they look for any sort of snipe here, Liquid? They're starting to head for a little bit, but as we say, the team fight around the pit, it's going to be hard to do.
Their ults are back up. The Mars does have ulti.
Okay. Diva can do it. Boxy's in. He is able to get them, but they turn straight away. Oh my goodness, the Requiem, they killed them straight away. Secret, they don't even care that this Mars trying to start things off, as they'll still finish off the Roshan, get the Aegis onto Nisha. They just got blown up immediately by the magical burst of Secret.
That's called like anticipation, right? They knew that Boxy was going to blink into that spot. They stun him almost instantly before he gets any other spell off. And YapzOr also finds another freebie. He's like, oh, Insania, join your buddy into the pit, and tosses him on top of a Requiem. Big moves there from Secret these last few moments now. 4K lead, and a good timing window where they can buy time with Aegis and make this Broodmother a little bit weaker throughout the entirety of it, because this is where Brood really wants to start taking over with this Aghanims and Orchid, but now he's playing into Aegis, so it's a lot more difficult for him.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Boxy's game also heavily slowing down now. He's gonna just be like kind of a blink initiator for quite a bit of time after those last few deaths. 2, 4, and 6 now. And just so much magical damage. Like, he's very fragile because of this Veil and because of how much magic burst they do have on Secret. Look at those cores. 6-2-10, 6-3-6, 4-0-9. Only really the support suffering on the side of Secret, in particular Puppy.
However, on the side of Liquid, just really Quakefa in that solid position right now.
Yep.
And, you know, he has to maintain that as a Spider. Kills, the deaths on him very much hurting his game massively as he tried to keep himself ahead. But Nisha, he's keeping up as this SF, and as we're seeing in the fights right now, the Shadow Fiend just offering so much more potential. Yeah, and now he's going to be having the BK. He has like this protective window where he can farm that BKB, get it finished up on top of all those stat items, where does not really have great ways to deal with a BKB, not for a very long time. I'm gonna drop the tombstone down here.
Okay, but it's fully defensive one. I think Secret could just back away if they'd like to, rather than just walk up into it.
Yeah, nothing more to be found here. Secret more than happy as they just wait out this final 100 or so gold for BKB to be complete, Nisha. And
Oh, look at that. Oh, you see that play there? He left the range creep alive so that Matu could actually grave chill it so that his birds can attack the tower faster. I was wondering why he wasn't killing the range creep in front of him. Some big brains right there.
Extra little bit of efficiency.
Yep, just trying to maximize their damage so they can get onto that tower there. They're trying to maximize their Aegis usage.
That's the big item done for Mickey. He does have the E-Blade. Of course, a little awkward that it comes to the time when Nisha's got his BKB. Definitely nowhere near the sort of timing that we would have hoped for as this more. That pressure lane top, it started off a little scrappy, but the end of it all absolutely working out in Secret's favor, that setup.
Yeah, and look at this Nisha, because he's got Avenge on his team, he's got Dragonlance, he can hit that tower from out of range. BKB delivered. Mickey trying to get all the farm as possible down bottom during this push. See what Liquid can do to hold here.
This is an early background push here from Secret, 20 minutes in. There's the jump forward. Box, he's going to try and peel Nisha back to the rest of the team, but Nisha's past the BKB, the Requiem's out. He's almost certainly going to fall for this one. The Bear's pushing him away. He's dead for 70. He tries to come across the backlines. He's getting set. He's got to be careful as this spider into the trees he goes. Have managed to pick off Matumba Man, but the Doom is down onto the morph. Mickey's stepping back. They swap him back in. He's building up a lot of, but with the raises, they've got so much damage that Mickey is in so much trouble. Mickey goes down, he'll buy back, but Secret, they've taken the tier 3. See if they want to go for anything more here. Secret, the grab's there. Onto Nisha's beside the point, but he's got to be careful. E-Blade there from Mickey, providing some protection, allows him to get back. They're taking the Aegis out of the hands of Nisha.
That was such a nice E-Blade, actually. He just saved Quakefa because he silenced Nisha at the same time as it, so Nisha couldn't turn and raise during that. That was a really nice play by the Morph. But look, Secret's
still looking.
They want to re-engage? Or do they?
Or do they?
Okay, they're going to back away.
The Plague. Oh, let's go with that Matsu.
Yeah, they've got another BKB coming out on the courier, I believe, too, for the Doom. So they're getting these real big items to kind of just make the Mars useless. Like, these double BKBs, even if you're caught inside of Mars' ult, you're not going to care at all. You just hold your ground.
Yeah, and they already got so much from that, forcing out the 2 buybacks.
Yeah.
You know, the big one being Mickey having to buy back as this Morph that we already pointed out was having a rough game in terms of farm.
Yeah, taking all the boxes they need to right now. Have this nice lead versus this Morphling. Continuing to build the pressure. Aegis is going to be... I mean, Aegis was already gone, so... 3 minutes until we'll find out for that next Roshan. I mean, they got more than they came for with that Aegis. Everyone itemizing now. Getting all these different pickups there from getting that one from Rex and Towers. Matsu's getting close to an Aghanims for himself. And they're just going to keep going. With these double BKBs, I don't think they should slow down at all versus the side of Liquid. They just have way stronger team fight for quite a long time now here. I don't really know how Liquid just takes a head-on fight. They have to try to get Nisha before the BKB comes out, and Puppey can't be there in order to save him. They have to just burst one of these targets down before the immunity comes out without a save.
Getting harder and harder for Liquid to fight into this.
Yeah.
I saw them in the first game. They were able to sort of pull themselves together in the second half and come in with some excellent maneuvers. This game too, it's going to be so much harder to do that though, with the fact that the Secret do have this strong lead very early on.
Yeah, and it's not where he's having a game as a Sven where he's like, you know, 10-1 and 5 or anything like that. This is a game where, you said, he's super pressured throughout the entirety of it, and there's so much burst damage he has to be worried about. And a Doom. And there's that Aghanims finished up for the Visage. Yeah, they have a very good peak timing right now here for Team Secret.
And if this keeps up, it's always going to be a little bit of a shake-up for Liquid. You know, this is a game where you've come in with that last pick Brood in the draft, and it's just not been able to have too much of an impact so far. Still, the farm is very good for Quakefa, but the rest of the team has suffered.
Yeah, like we said, I mean, Boxy's game is just completely halted. Like all he releases an hopeful spear pre-BKBs. And I guess it's now too. He can pop some attack speed for his teammates too, but his is very slowed down. And immediately they're making their way toward top. Side trying to catch somebody unexpectedly, but won't be able to. But they're still pushing the lane in, and that Rax is exposed.
Now, see how much changes with the BKB being finished on Quakefa.
Okay.
If he's able to to at least get rid of some of these back. It's still going to be hard. There's the Glimmer Cape on Puppey, and obviously ways to swap in and out. This Rex, it's going down. They'll pop the fortification, but already a lot of damage being done on this top lane. Secret having a very strong 5-man push. Liquid doing best to hold it. Starting to poke it towards the familiar. That's gone. Boxy comes in with the ultimate and grabs the forward. BKB is out for Nisha, the Requiem, pushing back the Mars. Boxy, he's falling low. He's trying to get out to the side. Zai with the BKB. Puppey as well, swapping back quite for giving Zai the space to get out of there. Zai will be saved.
They reset away from the tombstone, kill away all the zombies. Great swap there by Puppey. Eventually saving Zai there. Zai almost dying to the focus fire of the Brood. And now, he swap and then toss back, and they mess it up. Maybe missing out on a kill there.
Having a big one as well.
Yeah.
I guess what the sort of toss pass coming to play before the swap initiated.
I think he lost. I just lost vision for a second on the swap. Yeah. Cause I think Puppey was like, I got him right.
Oh, they've got that purple one down there. Yeah. Or did he head round a tree? I don't know.
I'm not sure. Actually, maybe it did go out of range.
Yeah.
Either way, they missed the opportunity there. They are able to get themselves backed up though. Not actually lose anybody to that big initiation from Team Liquid. And that's the BKB Brood reveal.
Yeah, and not able to get the kills that they'd hoped for.
No, now we have what, 45 seconds until that's probably going to be the next thing on the docket for Team Secret. So all they really need to do is keep their lanes out. And look, Zai's actually on the hunt down bottom for Mickey.
A pretty big player finds him. I mean, Mickey, is he going to show on this wave? He's going to show.
Okay, Zai's starting to run at him.
Zai's going to have long enough on the invis run, I think, to get in it.
He's got the play.
Oh, he's in. The stun. He's able to catch him before he starts to shift. He's got to...
He's dead.
Yeah, he's not gone. Zai's patience paying off very nicely there on that bottom lane.
He puts the high five up there, hoping that Mickey will be able to. Can you high five while doomed?
I'd hope so.
It might disable the high five even too, so.
I don't know, that feels too... No.
Great though, great move by Zai. Reading the map, understanding Mickey's been playing down for the majority of the game, trying to split push. 60 seconds now, Mickey can't farm. Secret have a big timing window here. Oh, Spidey.
Spiders, thank you. There's Yapsor. He slams down most of Koifa's army. And now the mid push, Secret. They didn't finish the racks up top. Doesn't really matter. There's outdoor objectives for them to find with the tier 2 mid and that tier 2 bottom.
Outdoor objectives, I like that.
Yeah, no.
That's their home, the base. Yeah, it's nice.
They've got to protect it.
And Roche is up. So they've got their lanes in a great position. Mickey dead. Easy Aegis and cheese for them. And this should probably be the move where Secret just looks to end this one and just go break that high ground super hard here. And it's going to be tough for Liquid to really fight that one back here with what they've currently got. No way that they can try to contest this.
Yeah, easy rush. The Secret. Liquid, they are trying their best to get over, but it's not soon enough. Secret, now grab Aegis into the hands of Nisha.
I'm surprised they even made the way close over there. Like, there's so many different ways that they could get caught in that scenario there. A toss back, a swap. We'll be able to back themselves away, though. 13,000 gold lead, Secret.
That's just starting to look incredibly difficult for Liquid to play back into this. They are very far behind with a lineup that doesn't really do much from this position.
Not a position. I mean, Morphling's almost got half the net worth of a Shadow Fiend. That's never a place you want to be in a game. Puppey, looking for an opportunity perhaps here.
Well, they're trying to come out here, Liquid. This is risky. They get the spear onto Nisha.
He's kind of scary now.
Nothing else coming. They do lose Puppey. Quite was able to take out the Venge.
Oh, Matu's getting slow about some zombies here too.
Can Liquid try for one? Maybe this will work out to their favor. They get jumping onto the Vish, pushing to the side. There'll be a buyback from Puppey, but Matu's falling low. The silence is there. Matu and a tease. Gonna get himself back up to a decent amount of HP, but he's trapped in part the arena. Quite for commit with the BKB. They'll get the kill. They take down Matu on the side. Zai again has found the Doom target. He gets it dropped down onto the Morph. They'll be able to force Mickey back to safety. Boxy also able to escape.
Can they keep this Morph alive? Insania trying to punch back in onto Zai. Tiger with the lift up, separating the Doom from the Morphling, and Mickey will live out the Doom. Zai's now onto the Tiny. Mickey turns with the E-Blade combo and the first drop Spiderlet. They'll kill off Yapso. Mickey quickly, but Nisha's there with the Requiem, pushing him back. The Razors are out, the stun from the birds. Mickey will fall. Tiger.
Stolen Requiem.
Go for the TP away. What? He's actually able to take out the Aegis. They've been able to bring down Nisha once. Puppey bought back for this one. Puppey turning back over towards Boxy. Zai trying to chase. The Wave of Terror catches the three. If they got any control on it, quite for them.
Be careful.
Familiar into the magic. Quite for stuck around too long.
Still having a crazy amount of chain stun when Zai does have that Centaur stomp.
They're trying their best, Liquid, to fight back into Secret. They do force a buyback from Puppey. They get some kills around it. They take away the Aegis, but it just isn't enough to stop Secret's flow right now. Secret still 12k up and can resume business, taking the tier 2, pushing up to the base, and they're without Mickey and Quoifer for a fair few seconds now.
That's what happened. Without Aegis Cheese, Liquid would have just crushed that fight. That would have been huge for them, but because that Aegis and Cheese is there, they're able to actually reset the fight on Secret and come out victorious on that one. Now Nisha has a full Satanic finished up too on top.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge.
And that fight lasted such a long time that like the Requiem and Doom are going to be coming back up pretty soon again here too. It was a pretty long chase forward in Secret, really pressing forward to make sure they get this Rax here as the Brute is still dead for 15 more seconds.
And nothing Liquid can do to stop that Rax going. They'll have to let that one fall. Secret will take it. Now over towards mid. And as you say, Liquid, they do it. They give them a good fight to the Aegis and the Cheese. Obviously, they are gone now. So if Liquid can somehow pull that off again, they may have a shot at holding here. It is a very, very small one, of course. There is still a tiny chance for Liquid if that same sort of event does go down.
There's a couple more items now picked up from Secret. They need to probably a better position where they haven't. Everyone kind of collapsed at the same moment. They're gonna try though.
Quoifer gonna scout things outside.
Scouts a DDD that Nisha has. Secret all in position there on the high ground. Insania.
They're gonna try and lead him with a grab. That's the question. They go with the spear, but Nisha reacts straight away with the BKB. Boxy trying to back off, turns with the shield. That's the shield up. Yapso in. Boxy dropping the arena. Burst him down with the toss combo. Now Quoifer moves over towards Nisha. So from the side, Requiem push back the three of them. Nika trying to punch back with the E-Blade. It's going to disarm it for the moment being as Nisha gets a little low, but again, he's finding this more Mickey every single time. Stopping what Mickey can do in these fights as Mickey will be run down by the full lineup of Secret. Nobody dying as Liquid could not get anything out of it this time. They tried their best to find Nisha, but as you say, he's just too many items ahead. They cannot kill this SF to start things off.
Yeah, you can imagine like they didn't just pick up all those different items. Perhaps they could look to have a better fight there, but Zai, the Balrog, he has the number of Mickey every single time, finding the perfect opportunity to get the Doom onto this poor Morphling, and now looks like it's time to end the game here. Secret have successfully thwarted Team Liquid this time.
They really have in this game too. Around for Secret. Back to regular form from them. There it is. GG is cool. Secret will take this game too, bringing it a 1-1 right now. And Liquid, the last pick Brood, it just didn't work out. No. And it didn't seem like Secret was scared of it whatsoever. The panelists mentioned, well, maybe Secret, they'll switch things around. Nah, Secret didn't care. Niche still going mid as the SF, and he still has an incredible game on it.
Up with the dead morph.